So I'm right outside our property, untamed. That's the tent that we stay at, and this video is not for sensitive viewers, so if you don't like sensitive content, just cut it because I'm going to show you something gruesome. Come on here. So yesterday night around 6:45 7 p.m. a tiger actually came from the reserve right here, and there was cattle going around, and it caught the cattle and killed it. It was trying to drag it inside the reserve, but it couldn't. You can see this is where the tiger came from, and it tried its best to take it in. You can see right here, this is where the tiger's mouth went into the canines. Right here, this is where the tiger caught it. I'm not going to touch the carcass. And you could see some marks of the claws, where the claws went in as well. And you can see the mouth is actually bubbling, or rather the nose is bubbling. Nose is bubbling because all the juices from inside the body and the fluids from inside the body are actually getting kind of fermented and coming out. And we're not sure if the tiger is going to come back or take the cattle back, but this is where conflict between humans and animals begins, because this is such a busy road. As you see, people are just on the bike, people come in and out of this area, and right here we have the core zone of Khitoli. There is no buffer in the middle. It's sad. It's a very sad loss for the farmers, but thankfully they will get compensated for this loss. If you see behind me, they're fixing the fence. So the tiger was actually inside the property of Untamed. Untamed has thankfully built this entire property and kept it completely wild. So it actually serves as a buffer between the core on this side on my left, which is Khitoli zone, and then on the right side, all the way that side is Pator core zone. And in between this is Untamed. And of course, on that side on my right, you see in the far distance there's village, and on my left side also there's village. So when the cattle was going in, I think this is exactly the point where the cattle got caught at. You see there's some blood here. There are no pug marks here, perhaps because this was yesterday evening, and then in the morning a lot of cattle has been active here. So I don't see any pug marks or struggle in the soil. Most likely the cattle was coming out from here. The tiger was eyeing the cattle. It jumped out of the fence from Untamed, stalked up to the cattle, and then right here somewhere, maybe there's a little bit of struggle here. Right here somewhere the tiger caught the cattle. Yeah, there is a little bit of signs of struggle here, but I don't see any pug marks. You see they've been covered by the hoof marks. Oh, there is a little faint marking of a tiger right here, you see. Instances like these are becoming increasingly common here in Bandhavgarh National Park, because human development around the reserve has really risen, and there are close to 180 villages surrounding the national park, many of them still remaining inside the core zone of the national park, and the authorities have been trying desperately to relocate the villagers outside the national parks. But the problem is, even if they're located outside the national park, tigers share the same habitat as humans as well, and now tigers have lack of space. So where are they going to go? They have lack of habitat, they have lack of prey animals, because a lot of the prey animals have actually been hunted by locals for meat consumption, or just caught in a snare for poachers, and that is really causing troubles and really causing problems. That's why the tigers have to kind of come out of the reserve, hunt the cattle, potentially also because they're easier prey. In years to come, this problem is going to get even worse. And that's where sometimes human-animal conflict is at its peak. If the farmer whose cattle this was, if he was around, he would try to rescue the cattle. And in that moment, the tiger would have realized that, it needs to fight or flight. In most instances, it would actually fight because it's trying to hunt something and someone's trying to stop it. So it would end up killing the farmer or the cattle owner. And instances like those have been very common here in Bandhavgarh and many other reserves. We're actually witnessing one death of a human every single month. Some months it's been more. And it is really, really, really important that we figure out a solution that works both for humans and animals. Whether that is making this fencing even taller so the tigers can't cross from this side to that side, which is going to be incredibly sad, but I think it might need to be done. So you have Pator and Panpatha be completely separate from Khitoli, Magdi and Tala, or even Magdi and Tala be separate from Khitoli. It will hamper movement of tigers, but long term, maybe that's what the solution would be, unless we have to take 180 villages and relocate them to very, very far away from tiger reserves. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. There are so many problems that are happening within tiger reserves and outside of tiger reserves, and most of it has to do with human-animal conflict.